If you guys are serious about growing your arms, then you're in the right spot, because today I'm going to go through the best workout that you can add to your program to add some mass on your arms. Now, I just posted a video earlier this week on all the best exercises to build muscle. And in this video, I go through a lot of the compound movements that you can do to overload, to consistently progress in the gym from week to week, to consistently build muscle. Today, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go through an entire arm workout, how you can go through a primer, how you can go through your compound movements, how you can set your accessory exercises up to grow your arms and continuously provide the stimulus to your arms to actually see your arms get bigger. Because I think a lot of times arms are a muscle where people just focus on doing as much volume and in reps and sets as they possibly can and just get the biggest pump that they can, which is great. That's gonna be one driver of muscle growth. But you also have to structure your program. You have to be getting stronger. And that's exactly what I'm gonna show you today, is how you can prime the muscle, how you can overload, and how you can really set your program up to build muscle in your arms. So we're gonna start off with the primer. And the whole goal behind a primer is to get some blood flow in the muscle to build that mind-muscle connection so that when you get to your first working set, everything's warm and you're ready to go. So for the primer, what I did today was a single arm tricep kickback hybrid movement between a push down and a kickback. I did 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, focusing on just using your tricep, getting good extension in each arm, and really focusing on pressing down and back, which is also going to warm up that long head of your tricep, which is the biggest head of your tricep. And then I supersetted this with a band curl. I did 3 different angles with my arms. So I did 10 reps where my arms are externally rotated, where it's going to hit the inside of the bicep, 10 reps where my hands are straight down by the side, and then 10 reps where my hands are internally rotated. This is a great way that you can get both heads of your biceps nice and warm. And if you don't have a band, you can always use a light pair of dumbbells. So after doing 3 sets of this, we got a little pump, we got a little blood flow, the mind's right, got that mind-muscle connection in the biceps and triceps. And then I hopped into the overload portion of this workout. Now, this is one area, like I said earlier, that you have to focus on getting stronger, no matter what the muscle group is. Whether it's lower body, whether it's upper body, it's arms, it's chest, it's back, it's shoulders, it's quads, it's hamstrings, it's glutes. Whatever it is, you don't want to be lifting the same weight today on any exercise that you're lifting a year from now. So at the beginning of the workout, we're going to pick 2 compound movements that we can focus on getting stronger over the course of time. So the next superset, your compound superset, is going to be a weighted dip and a barbell eccentric curl. And what I did on both of these was try to slow the tempo down and try to go about 3 seconds on the eccentric, both on the dip and on the curl. So dip is a great exercise where maybe 8 bodyweight dips is really challenging for you, and that's perfectly fine. But it's going to be a great exercise that once you get comfortable with doing sets of 8, 10, 12, you can start to add on a weight vest or a weight belt and continuously overload your triceps. Same thing with the eccentric barbell curl. What we did here was trying to overload the muscle by using a little bit of momentum to get it up and then slowing the weight down, which is going to be a great way that you can force some muscle growth in your arms. Now, what you can do as far as sets is I would do 3 to 4 sets of 8, keeping the tempo really slow and making sure that those last couple reps, you're pretty much hitting muscle failure. That's where you want to push it to. Record that down in your notes or on an app, and then you're going to try and get stronger over the course of time. That is a huge thing that you can do, especially in your biceps and triceps, where most exercises are already isolation in the first place, where you can keep getting stronger and keep placing that emphasis on your muscle to grow. So after we did the barbell curl and the dip, went over to a little more isolation, where I did a tricep push down with a shoulder flexion cable curl. Now, both of these, yes, are isolation, but we still kept it heavy. So I did sets of 8 to 10 on the push down and sets of 8 to 10 on the cable curl. Because again, even though they're isolation exercises, you still need to focus on getting stronger over the course of time. So if you're curling 50 pounds on a cable curl today, a year from now, you should not be curling 50 pounds. You should be curling more. That's what's going to place that stimulus on your muscle to grow. So I did 4 sets of 8 to 10 on the push down and then 4 sets of 8 to 10 on that shoulder flexion curl. With your push down, make sure that you're really keeping your shoulders back and keeping it out of it. What I found, especially for a lot of people when they go heavier, is they tend to let their shoulders round forward and let their shoulders take over. Make sure that you're keeping your shoulders down and back. You pin your elbows in, and it's just the triceps working. Go as heavy as you can for 8 to 10. Supersetting it with that shoulder flexion curl. Now, this is a great one that you can take advantage of the cable and change the angle to hit the inside of your bicep, the short head of your bicep. This kind of mimics a preacher curl, but this is going to be a great exercise to strictly just isolate your bicep, especially in that shoulder flexion, which is going to target the inside short head of your bicep and is going to create more width in your bicep. So on that, just using your biceps. Make sure we're not flexing in the wrist at the top. That's one fault that I see a lot of people do, that in their curls, when they get to the top of the rep, they'll flex their wrist. Instead, just keep your wrist neutral or slightly extended, and that's going to help you actually activate your biceps a lot more and keep your forearms out of the movement. The last two exercises that we did, again, changing the angle. You never want to come into a workout and do the same exercises from the same angle every single time. So you don't just want to do 5 different pushdown variations or 5 different straight curl variations. You want to change the angle so that you can target all the different muscles in that muscle group and develop it completely. So we did a single arm overhead extension with an incline dumbbell curl. Again, keeping this heavy in that 8 to 10 rep range. Now, I'm not saying that 8 to 10 is where you should always be, but for this specific workout and really focus on overloading, that's where I'm at in this rep range. Primarily, if you're looking to build muscle, you should be lifting in that 6 to 12 rep range for 90% of your training. And that's where we're falling today, is that 8 to 12. So even on an overhead extension, trying to get stronger over the course of time. On an incline curl, getting stronger over the course of time. Obviously, there's a ceiling effect to this where you're never going to be doing a single arm overhead extension with 100 pounds. It's just not going to happen. But you should slowly get better over time by adding 1 rep here, 5 pounds there. Now, on both of these, we're trying to focus on strict form. So on the overhead extension, trying to focus on getting a good stretch in your tricep. And that's going to activate that long head of your tricep, which, like I mentioned earlier, is the biggest part of your tricep. So if you're looking to grow your arms, you have to get overhead and activate that long head of your tricep. And then also supersetting this with an incline dumbbell curl. Now for here, we're trying to get into shoulder extension where your arm is behind yourself. And this is going to target the long head of your bicep. So like I mentioned earlier, shoulder flexion, we get that short head. Shoulder extension where the arm's behind yourself, you target your long head. Targeting both different heads of your bicep so you can develop completely. And again, the biggest fault that I see on this one is people will lift their arm into shoulder flexion at the top and then defeat the purpose of the movement. And then again, make sure that you're not flexing in the wrist on your curls. If you feel your forearms work a lot with a lot of bicep movements, that's somewhat natural. But one cue that I could give you to see if you can take your forearms out a little bit is see if you can keep your wrist neutral and not allow yourself to flex in the wrist. That's really going to help limit the amount of forearm work that happens and keep more tension on your biceps. Again, doing 3 to 4 sets on this, making sure that those last couple reps are pretty much at muscle failure. That is what's going to provide the stimulus for your muscles to grow. And then I finish this workout with the same way that I always finish every workout, with 2 scoops of our Fit Grind Whey protein. And then I also do a piece of fruit, especially because after this workout, I had to go back, train a couple more clients here at the gym to where I had a couple hours where I couldn't get my next meal in. So great post-workout that you can always hit after your workout to get a good source of protein. And then I always mix a piece of fruit because it's just a good carb source. It's really easy to keep here at the gym and something I could just eat quickly in between sessions. If you're interested in checking out our Fit Grind Whey protein powder, I'll leave the link in the comments in the description below. I'll also leave you a discount code to use on your first order so you can check it out and save some money if you're interested. So this is the perfect bicep and tricep workout that you can go through to grow your arms. It's going to be a great way to place overload, continually get stronger. You have enough isolation in there. You're also changing the angles from exercise to exercise. And it's a great way that you can keep getting stronger, keep growing your arms, because the worst thing that can happen is you come into the gym, you work really hard, but you're not making any progress. So make sure that you were diligent with keeping track of your weights, keeping good records, and that you're constantly giving 100% effort and that you're placing that stimulus on your body. Otherwise, it's never going to grow. Body's very good at adapting to whatever we throw at it. So we always have to look for ways that we can consistently just overload, place a stimulus so that we can get better. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. And I'll also leave a couple of the videos for you to go watch on the screen here next. Make sure to check those out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.